Now, I read the little bio that they had here said that you collaborated with Cuban musicians. Are you Cuban?
No, I'm not. I'm African American from upstate New York, but we did go to Cuba for about 2 weeks and work with two young Cuban pianists in their ensembles, and it was an incredible experience to be there, especially before there's dramatic political change. You know, it's nice to see something in its current state, see the environment in its current state.
I was very impressed with your dedicating of that song to your wife. Tell me something about that.
Well, my wife is an incredible woman. We've been together for 20 years. I met her my very first day in New York, and it was her very first day in New York. And it's just it was one of those things. I like to say that's my Claire Huxtable. You know,
Wow.
the most beautiful woman, the woman that I've always dreamed of, and it's just a blessing to have had the opportunity to meet her and grow together. So I wrote a song. I've written other songs for her, but this one was very timely and just means a lot to me.
Is this on any CD that you have out?
No, actually, the song is called "Let's Take a Trip to the Sky," and
Hmm.
tonight was the debut. It was the very first time it was performed publicly.
Right. But is it going to be on a future CD of yours?
Yes, this group will record all the music that was performed tonight, and it'll probably be ready for release maybe next March or something like that.
Okay. Tell me about your love for the xylophone.
Well, the vibes, it's interesting. It's a beautiful instrument. I love the instrument, but ultimately I love music.
Hmm.
I think of instruments as just a pile of metal and wood, you know, and it's the artist's story that is told through the instrument, which makes the music special. I met a gentleman by the name of Richard Al Bagley when I was in eighth grade. He's a classical percussionist in the Albany Symphony, and he just was an amazing mentor for me. And I played all the band instruments. I played clarinet, and trombone, and flute. But when I met him and he took me under his wing, I decided to become a percussionist. But if I met a clarinetist, I would be a clarinetist today. It's my love of music that permeates.
Well, there's some things about you that seem to remind me of the past famous musicians. Like you talk while you play the music. Uh, there was a famous pianist that did that.
Right. Well, you know, it's funny. I grew up in the church. My mother's actually a minister, and the way that I learned about music was its connection to storytelling. It's never about the music itself. It's always about what you have to say.
Hmm.
So it's easy to take an instrument like mine or a saxophone or something and just sort of bang out some technical things that you've been studying. So to avoid that, I always sing when I play. And not only am I singing, I'm actually speaking. There are times where I'm muttering words to
Hmm.
myself, and what it is that I'm muttering to myself, I'm playing it. I may just say, "We need love in this moment," and I'll play it.
Hmm.
Or I may have a moment of anger if I'm frustrated one night, and I'll speak something to myself, and I'll play that. So that my music is always about something that is honest and authentic.
Uh, has anyone ever hailed you as the new Milt Jackson or anything like that?
Oh, Milt Jackson, man. I mean, one of my all-time great heroes. I had the great fortune to play with him more than once, actually. He and Bobby Hutcherson. I got to play with Lionel Hampton, with Roy
Wow.
Ayers. So I've been mentored by the very best. And Milt Jackson, I still have a picture of him on the wall in my practice room. Just
Hmm.
one of my greatest inspirations. I started in classical music, actually.
Yeah.
And my first year of college, I was in full scholarship for classical music. I hadn't really played much jazz at all. And someone turned me on to a record called Things Are Getting Better. It's a Cannonball Adderley record with Milt Jackson on it. Once I heard Milt Jackson for the first time, that was it. Yeah, I finished up my degree in classical music, but the whole time I was studying jazz and was eager to be a part of it. But it was really Milt Jackson who I don't know what it was about how authentic and soulful and honest he was as a musician. An incredible spirit.
Hmm. Well, they say that you're the new sort of flavor in jazz.
Well, I mean, I'm here, and I really am. I think a strong and authentic advocate for the music.
Hmm.
I really believe that this is one of African Americans' greatest contributions to the world. I do feel that I have an obligation to move forward with dignity
Hmm.
and to do the best that I can to keep elevating the music. I mean, we have some big shoes to fill. When you think about John
Yeah.
Coltrane and Duke Ellington, but I'm so grateful to have heroes like that to look up to. It definitely keeps me motivated every day. I'm more and more hungry to learn.
How about hip hop?
Oh, of course, I'm of the hip hop generation, so so all of that is a part of it. To me, it's interesting. Many times we like to chop music up into categories, but I mean, to me, it's all music from the African American experience. So hip hop, gospel, R&B, all of that is part of the way that I make music. I don't even separate it. Anything that is authentically a part of my life experience, I never block from coming out. I don't really care about styles or genres or anything like that.
So what's the hookup with you and San Francisco Collective?
Well, excuse me. It's this SF Jazz Collective. The San Francisco Jazz Festival is the parent organization of this. Randall Klein, who's the executive director, and Josh Redman work together to initiate this group. But none of the musicians actually live in San Francisco. Right. The idea is to get the very best musicians together in a room for 2 weeks and let's see what happens, what they come up with no rules. That's one of the things that's most unique about this group that I really love is that it's truly democratic. There's no one above us telling us what to write, what to do. We don't even know what we're going to do. We don't talk to each other about it. We pick an artist, and then you choose whatever song you want, and we show up the first rehearsal, and we deal with it from there. And any change that happens in the group, we literally send out emails, and we take votes on everything. It's a very unique and rare situation in jazz.
So is this what's going to be the future? Are you guys just doing, going from cities to cities as a collective and expressing yourselves through music? Or are you going to break out as a solo artist and we're going to be seeing you at various concert halls doing classical as well as jazz?
Well, the idea behind the collective is that we're all leaders already. I have 8 records now. I forgot for a second.
Okay.
And many of the guys in the band have several records, and so most of the year we're touring with our own ensembles, and that creates the opportunity for us to continue to develop our own sound so that when we get together, we have something unique and new to bring to the table every year.
What would you say if I see you as a new Herbie Hancock, because he goes into all these various genres as well?
I mean, that would be an honor. I mean, Herbie Hancock is an American icon, and I think his spiritual presence in the art form is incredibly important because he's another one who's beyond label.
Right.
He really is ultimately about music itself, much broader than any description would do justice. Yeah. So he's absolutely a hero of mine, and I actually have not played with him yet, but it would be a great honor to be able to stand next to him and hit a couple of notes.
Hey, thanks, Reg.
All right, thank you so much.